video, we're going to show you how to attach a SNO-RAZOR to a SnoMaster 72 or 48. As always, we recommend that you lay out all of the parts and pieces and make sure that you have everything that's supposed to be included in the parts list. If you've already assembled your SnoMaster, you will need to loosen the 4 Towbar mount bolts to allow for the RAZOR mount to attach to the bottom. You may also need to loosen the Towbar mount bolts on the back of the Towbar next to the chassis bar to allow for the RAZOR mount to settle inside of the tow bars. Once you've loosened the bolts, you're then able to attach the RAZOR lift mount inside of the tow bars. Again, remember to not over tighten any of these nuts at this point. Now we're going to attach the RAZOR bars to the RAZOR mount. To do this, because they are left and right bars, it can sometimes be easier if you lightly rest them on the RAZOR itself. That will help with your orientation. To do that, you'll need to remove the RAZOR bolt that's inside the RAZOR bar. Next thing you'll want to make sure is that your O-rings, both inside the RAZOR bars and also inside your bottom mount, are in place. To attach the RAZOR bars to the mount, you'll need to use the pivot pin. This is attached with O-rings, which will be in its own bag. You can attach one O-ring to one side of the pivot pin, and then you can slide that through all 3 pieces, including the left side. You go through the RAZOR mount and then through your left side. Once it's all the way through, you can use the second O-ring to lock it in place. Next, we're going to attach the RAZOR crossbar to the RAZOR bars. If you have a lockout, you'll also want to attach the lockout to the top of one side of the RAZOR bars. Remembering again not to over tighten any of the bolts at this point. The next step we're going to do is attach the lift slide to the RAZOR crossbar. Simply using the small clevis pin and hitch pin, attach directly to the RAZOR crossbar. Now we are finally ready to attach the RAZOR bars to the tow bars. We'll go ahead and lift this up into place. And then allow this bolt to slide down into the bottom plate. This can be one of the trickiest parts to the entire assembly, so having an extra set of hands can often be helpful for this last step. One trick for attaching the rear bolts is to lift the carriage bolt up out to allow your nut to get underneath next to that RAZOR pivot pin. That will allow you to spin the bolt first before it's seated into the carriage. And then you can slide your wrench down in order to tighten that up and finally secure it completely. Now before we lift everything up and tighten everything up, we're going to slide the RAZOR into place and make sure that it still fits there. Then we're going to add the locking bolts. Now we can move the lift slide into place and secure with the bent clevis pin and hitch pin. From there we can determine which angle we'd like and install the shear pins through the RAZOR bar and the RAZOR. After that, we can tighten up all of our bolts and make sure she's ready to go. That's it for this video on the installation of the SNO-RAZOR. Remember again, before you get out there, to tighten up all your bolts, set your RAZOR height and angle.